Oftentimes, when you start a business, you may face difficulties. It could be from starting, from the initial idea all the way up to execution. So today we're going to be addressing and looking at the criteria for business ideas. My name is Walter Bono, and this is the Gingerbread Podcast, and I'm with my co-host Vicky Joseph. Over to you.
Hi guys, Joseph Vicky.
All right. We're gonna start with a little bit of career therapy. Basically, every time on LinkedIn, when you get on LinkedIn, you find a post about somebody says, "I'm thrilled to announce." People are always excited. People are always thrilled. It's never I'm sad to announce that I didn't get the job, right? So we're going to get into a little segment called career therapy, and then we'll have a business business idea criteria, and also Botswana business landscape, right? So let's start with career therapy, right? Vicky,
Yeah,
what was your first job and how much was the salary?
right. So my first job was like in 2019.
Yeah,
I just finished my SEMA, and then I was an audit intern. I was getting 1.8.
yeah.
So yeah, it was really really low because I've had other people. Other people started really quite high.
Yeah.
So I was one of the people that really started low, low, low. I was getting 1.8. Ramkha like I check it, it's like what do you name?
Yeah.
So it was really bad. It was really bad. What about yourself?
I didn't start like I didn't have a professional start of my career. I started working my first official job. I was a waiter. I was earning 1.4. Well, plus over and as tips. But yeah, I was earning 1.4. Minimum wage really.
So
Yeah.
imagine I was an audit intern, you were a waiter, but then there was someone getting the same salary.
And it was around the same years
Which
actually.
is actually
Yes,
a
yes,
scam.
yes. Yes. So yeah, it was like that. Yeah. Yeah.
But something commendable about her journey. I just want to know how you managed to actually get back into corporate instead of just sticking in that route. Route there forever. I feel like it's commendable. It could actually motivate someone out there.
Okay. Oh, so in a brief explanation of how I went about it is I really the first the I got the job when I FD'd, right? I FD'd out of college, so I had to find a way to make to earn it to make a living, right? So I started there. I got a job there, and then the idea behind it was to save up the funds so that I can pay for my school fees and tuitions and all that, right?
Wow.
So as a waiter, that means the tips and all that. I had to save them up and pay them towards school.
It's actually quite commendable. What about your modeling career?
Yeah, no, that was like a part time
People don't
thing.
know you to be a model.
That was like a
You've been
part time.
around in this working industry.
That was like a part time thing that I did in college. I mean, it
Okay.
was a good gig actually. It helped me like with obviously with self esteem, self confidence issues. Like I became more assertive, and it really sort of helped. Really, I think I was able to interact with people better because I think I was a little bit more introverted when I started. Yeah.
Right.
Anywho, moving on. Right. Um, looking back, what did you learn from your initial role?
So, in actual fact, now that I look back at it, I feel like we should actually give more credit to people that hired us when we had no experience.
Yeah.
When I first got into the industry, I didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
I will just maybe quickly tap into the accounting industry.
Yeah.
For example, when you're studying a CA course, by the time you get to the completion, you've lost touch with the beginning,
Yes.
capturing invoices and everything. I was completely blank when I got there. Imagine it's already module into derivatives and I'm having to capture invoices. Like I was
Yeah.
so blank. And honestly speaking, it wasn't very productive because I was also there for 1 month.
Yeah.
But I'm still grateful for the opportunity in some industry. So yeah. But in actual fact, actually, you should give credit to people that hire people without experience, to be honest.
I know. I think I'm thankful for my really first employer. It was imagine my CV was waiter and then audit. So so that pivoting into like now getting into my profession, I think it was super great, and I'm forever thankful for my first employer. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's not dwell much into it. Now let's look at money and work life, right? So between the now, like 2019 up to now, how has your relationship with money improved? Like, do you see any growth? Like, yeah.
I think first we should define a relationship with money. What is that?
It could be one, yeah, the way you spend, the way you save, and you really your outlook on your income really. You thought it was little then. I'm sure now you somewhat what still feel like it's not enough, right? Obviously, obviously they sort of feel like they no, I don't earn enough, I don't earn enough. But yeah. So between then and now, how has your relationship improved?
I think the funny part is that I used to have actually a good relationship with money. I don't know what went wrong.
Yeah.
Because on my second job, I still wasn't earning much,
Yeah.
but my second job is where I was able to save for a car.
Okay.
And the funny part was that I was actually I had to pay rent at a studio pet. It was around 1.8.
Yeah.
I was actually earning around on my third job. That's when I got a new car.
Yeah.
Not a new car even.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was earning like
Yeah.
7K. I had to pay rent there 1.8, and then I still had to go to work. But I was able to save 2K as well.
So basically, everything you're working, let's say saving 2K, everything is within you're spending
7K.
So 2K for saving, then you just have five.
Yes, and then 5 I'm paying rent, and I'm
And
surviving with 3. I don't know how I was doing that, but it was actually working.
did you go out as often?
Okay, well, I didn't go out, so maybe it's
Okay.
because I was taking a bit of a compromise at the time.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember the time when I actually went and said, I actually need a car. It was COVID.
How long
That's
did
not
you
the
save?
combi.
How long did you save for it?
Okay, so this is what happened. So when I got my first breakthrough at that job at 7K,
Yeah.
it was in October of, I think, 2019,
Yeah.
right? So in December, a friend of mine introduced a kganya gore a re dire motshelo wa dikoloi.
Ah.
E be ke re, in this situation, ke tsaya pele. Because I've been on this journey. There's no one you're going to tell me gore nna ke tsaya ka December. In actual fact, nna ke sentse gore ke setse ke simolotse on this journey. But okay, no, that's fine. So it was 4 of us. Rents are 1K, 1K. So one person gets 4K every month. So after 4 months, you get your 16K.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
was saving a 2K on the side, and then also I got this 15K on the side because Nail and Nawan Tlhagotsa.
Okay.
So that's how I managed to get my first car, and then it was COVID. So I'm so done and over with this thing. I had to work a long distance to get a lot was happening at the time. It's like, you know what? So I felt like over time, though, getting back to your question, my relationship with money, I felt like that time I was actually able to stick to a plan and say, "Ke duela rent, ga ke ye gope. This is what's going to happen."
Okay, that was really
No,
commendable.
it's so, I can't go and say, I'm still using the same car from Pep.
Okay, so you were so between that, so we're saying like a period of 2 years.
It was a period of actually, like, similar to October 2019.
Yeah.
By June, I had bought the car. It was like 29K. Cars were still cheap at the time.
So between June 2019 and 2020,
Yes.
right? So wait, let's say within a year
Yeah, I had 30K. So I get the 15K came
from
from
the
the
Montelo,
Motelo,
yeah.
and then the other 15K was Gohonna. So Kotsofo to begin some 1K about but like it's more of like an interest-free loan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the 15K or something, 16 somewhere there. So it
Okay.
was working out for me, but I can't do that now. I can't even commit to anything. Like I don't know what's going on with me. So I don't know. I think my relationship with money has gotten worse. I think maybe it's because of my parents now, and a parenthood that you can't predict it.
Okay.
You can't. So it's been hard, but I'm trying to now get back in track and start trying to save and everything. How's been yours actually?
I think over time, I sort of learned that, I mean, for me, I was earning a little bit less, but I was able to get like my first car within the first, let's say, 2.5 years. Oh yeah, 2.5 years of my professional career. Because I got at that time, obviously, I have to pay for school, I have to pay for stuff. Yeah, but within 2.5 years, I was able to save enough to get it. And at that time, I think cars were a little bit expensive, but I figured I came with a plan, and obviously, I had like side things going on for me, so I had to, yeah.
Don't you think someone out there maybe wants to know how you did it? Because it's very hard to break through and get your first car. Did you save like a 1K from how much you were earning? Because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I would have never. So I have a girl. She's a year ahead of me. She's like one of my best friends. So she got a car a year before, and I'm like, this girl can do it with the same salary I'm getting now, so I can do it too. Had I not seen her, I would have never had the motivation
To
to think
actually,
about getting a car. Okay, we get guess about to have an and then I spend recklessly.
yeah.
So maybe someone, if they get that how much are you earning and then how much you is able to save.
Okay, I think I had a period where there was a period where I was really progressing with my savings, and then I decided to go on vacation. That was a wrong move,
Okay.
but but all in all, I think I was saving about like what I would try to save like I was earning like first professional job. I was earning like 4.5, right? So I was saving around 1,000, 1.5, depending on how the month is.
Were
But
you paying rent?
yes, I was still paying rent.
Who are you living?
No, I could obviously I'd had to get a housemate. I'd have to like live in a situation where I have a housemate as well. We get like a smaller 2 bed. Yeah, really reduced utilities and stuff like that.
Something is not adding up. It's banging about a 3 beds in Gasagereke.
No,
Sound
but
like one of those guys.
no,
What are you
but
saying,
it
Walter?
wasn't for like a
Eh,
prolonged period. The 4.5
oh,
wasn't for a
okay.
prolonged period.
Okay,
Obviously, you
makes sense,
move
makes sense.
with time. It got better with time, right?
Oh,
I think the
okay.
time I got it, the salary had already increased a little bit more, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
All right. Okay. So now, how do you balance work, personal life, mental health, having a child, and
That one was
also
not part of the prep, but anyway, continue.
and also like and also like seasons where it's really you could be overwhelmed. Like, how do you balance everything out, and also celebrating your achievements, your career goals?
To be honest, I feel like I've experienced the most pressure in the past year since June because I started school also in June last
Yeah.
year and I'm still in school right now. So I'm actually not coping because I remember there was actually a time where it was no longer mental health. It
Yeah.
actually manifested in the physical.
Yeah.
Like I was getting a chronic urticaria. I don't know if that's what it's called. Like more you're getting an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
I did allergy tests. I did everything was a bonus sip, and then they actually realized what it's because I'm experiencing a lot of stress. So my body is actually now showing it in the
Damn.
physical.
Okay, that's
It
a
was bad.
yeah.
Like it was so bad. And I feel like I'm still finding my way around it because it's very hard to have like a packed day. God, I actually now miss the days when I'd knock off at 5 and I'm going home and I'm done.
Yeah.
And now I'm becoming health cautious. So imagine how I start my day in the morning, I'm going to work,
Yeah.
right? And maybe let this day things have changed and I have to drop off my son at school, go to work. And how mo drop how mo kana he's still young. How mo tlogele hela wa tswa go tsena le ene mo tlelaseng a bo
Yeah.
tsena mo so that's already a lot of work before you actually get to work. A bo ya tirong. Ga o tswa mo tirong, now I have to go and study. After I finish studying, now I have to even go to the gym. By the time I get home, it's around 10:30.
And some days you
And if
have
I
to
nail ngwana ke tsena ka 10:30.
and some days you have to podcast. Yeah.
Some days on podcasting.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm really not coping. I'm also looking into how I can actually be able to cope because if you look at I'm not getting enough sleep, and it's also gonna compromise my hormone and my progress with gym because apparently you need to have enough sleep
Yes.
to actually be able to boost your metabolism and fat burning
Yeah,
process and
yeah.
everything. So I'm really struggling, honestly. I'm not coping. What about yourself? Because there was a time you're doing school. Okay, fine. Also now, but you had school, you had gym, you had work as well.
I think I made peace with the fact that I sleep after midnight every day.
That's it.
One, let's say some days I would have to wake up really early. For a good day, let's say a really productive day, I have to do wake up at 5, do gym, right? After gym, then I do work, then probably one of these engagements, and then around let's say around 8, I get home. When I get home, probably I have to do a little bit of work, and then a little bit of probably like side hustle work.
Wow.
So, and then also you remember I have to cook myself for myself. I have to prepare for work for the following day. So yeah, it's really not so easy. You get used to the fact that I take naps every day at lunch. Like
Because that doesn't sound like balance.
yeah, I do. Sometimes I sleep for like 4 hours.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, sometimes I get like only 4 hours. So I take my hour. I think you've called me multiple times. I put my phone on do not disturb and then I sleep.
Wow.
I take my nap. My lunch nap. My lunch is for my nap.
Wow. Because for me, I've been thinking about this. How I'm not living a proper life. That's actually even how I ended up discovering podcasting and being so obsessed with this whole thing. Because it's something I can listen to as I'm commuting to work. When I'm working, I can have my headphones plugged in. Like it's my form of little entertainment during the day.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's healthy to have such a serious day from morning up until 10. I cannot go on TV, so it's better I watch something as I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
And that's why podcasting, I ended up realizing how this thing works for me. I watch a lot of podcasts, and that's the only thing I'm able to watch. I can't watch Netflix.
Oh no, I
So,
think I started doing that. It works. Like I'd play. Usually I play like a lot of sitcoms in the background. The old ones, like your Friends, your Big Bang. I have them playing in the background while I do work. I
wow.
pause here and there and laugh, and then continue with what I'm doing. I think
Wow.
it's really it makes work feel less of a chore. Yeah, it's just quite enjoyable, and so you can get away with it.
Before you move on, so I want to know, is this how we're going to be living up until 65?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Okay.
most probably. Yeah, speaking of work-life balance, right? On the 4th of October, there is an event called Game Rush Fest, right? It's a five-a-side. That's for corporate. The entry fee is like 3.5. Please do join. I think it's one of those that you get a chance to interact with other corporate guys. How do they cope, and also it's breather. It's a breather.
It's a breather.
Yeah,
Then
it's a
also there's a
breather.
grand prize. If you win, you may walk away with a lot of cash. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
you'll see the poster. Mr. John,
Yeah.
put the poster on the screen.
Okay. Right. So I think we're gonna move to the next segment, which is business idea criteria, right? So a lot of businesses, people will the initial step is a business idea, then it goes all the way to the implementation side, right? So there were not so long ago, there was a post on social media that was trending. Not trending per se, but yeah, I think it's good enough to say it was trending. The guy said, what would you do? What business idea would you come up with if you have 17,000 pula in your account, right? A savings account. Right. So we're going to rate the ideas based on the following criteria, right? The criteria is as follows. One, we're going to look at market demand. Two, the uniqueness of the idea. Three, scalability. Four, financial viability. Five, feasibility in terms of resources. And six, trends and timing.
Okay.
And personal fit, right? I think all of them you can be able to come up with something, right?
Okay.
So the first one, the people commented under the post, obviously. So one guy said you could install a photo booth in a mall and take vintage photos and charge, let's say, 35 pula per strip or whatever you want, whatever price you want, right?
Okay.
So let's rate it accordingly.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. All right, so it was relating to market demand, and then there's also financial feasibility, and then there was also
Viability, scalability,
scalability.
trends and timing, and then personal fit.
All right. And
Yeah.
then also before I start rating it or maybe using the criteria to assess if it's feasible or not,
Yeah.
I came across a very interesting concept over the weekend. I was watching the Jar of a CEO podcast, and then they were talking about the Dandu investor. So basically, the analogy of the Dandu investor, it says that,
Oh,
you
I
know, there's a
remember.
game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did watch the
And
podcast.
like, that was so
Yeah.
amazing. It was very insightful.
Yeah.
So basically, the analogy is heads or tails. Heads, I win big.
Yeah.
Tails, I don't lose much.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want a successful business idea, at its core, you're supposed to be able to invest very little. When you win big.
Yes.
And as much as we actually never talked about it, this is the analogy or maybe the theory that you're going to be going by, I feel like we've been applying this in our business models,
Yeah.
the ventures we've been trying to undertake. We're trying to erode almost all the
All the
fixed
costs.
costs
Yeah. Yeah.
and remain with the variable ones.
Yeah.
So for every business, try to fail small, but when you win big.
Yes.
Right? That is the underlying thing there.
Yeah.
But then also, one thing that they mentioned was that an idea in your head is beautiful. You will know if it's actually beautiful once you've tested the market with that idea.
Yes.
So imagine you've invested a lot and you're going to test the market and the market doesn't like your product. So these things, they go hand to hand. So it was very something that I found very insightful over the weekend.
I
That
I think do you find it insightful, or is that there's a theory called, I forgot the name of the theory. Basically, where it justifies what you've been thinking, your thoughts, right? It's a it's a theory. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Uh, I think it's around theories that influence decisions, right? So, I think let me a brief about it is that once you have an idea, right, or you've been thinking about something like this, and then you see something, and then just you see something that aligns with it, it just justifies what you've been thinking. It just says
that's
no.
very
This is
true. And I'm
I'm
on the right
I don't
path.
dispute it. I
I
don't dispute
resonate with
that.
millionaires. What is
Yes,
going on here?
yes, I don't
Because
dispute that.
also the other day I was watching another podcast. There's a local podcast. They were talking about venture capital.
Yeah.
So this man was talking about, and as much as yes, I agree with him on other things, he was talking about venture capital. How young people should be given millions to go test out ideas. I'm like, I don't believe in this. You can't test an idea with 1 million.
Yeah,
You
no.
can't.
Yeah, even on that part, the guy said most of the most of the startups people, it's not ideal. He even mentioned about venture. He talked about venture capital a little bit, about like giving people people saying, oh no, you need this much money to start a business, but it's not usually the idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I resonated with them a lot. I was like, you know what? I think brilliant minds think alike. Because I looked at that podcast, the venture capital, like, there's no way you're giving a 19-year-old 1 million, no matter how brilliant the idea is. More especially because this person has not been in corporate. They don't know successful business strategies, how they operate.
Okay, I don't agree with corporate, right?
Okay.
Hey, don't say corporate. I think the best way to go about it, say this person hasn't really, let's say, experienced enough of like the person doesn't have much of experience, right? In terms of everything, right?
In terms of everything also, but then
Yeah.
also you need to have an experience of what makes a successful business strategy.
Yeah.
Because you can have a brilliant idea that has no market for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm talking about how maybe corporate will give you, because when you're inside someone else's company,
Yeah.
you have the insider information of what makes this business make money.
Yeah.
Well, when you can't really tell how a business makes money if you're on the outside. Yes, you can, but most of the time you need to be inside because you have access to everything when you're in the inside.
Yeah.
So you're able to maybe amass the experience throughout the years, and then also be able to say, oh, this is the consistent thing that makes a successful business strategy. But anyway, those are just my thoughts, by the way. So we can, I guess, move on to vetting the
Okay.
business ideas.
So yeah, the business idea we're around our photo booth, right? So now photo booth. Let's start with market and demand. Do you think it has adequate a market? Would it have adequate market or enough market really?
All right. So what I'm gonna say is that it's gonna have a market for first-time users.
Yeah.
Right. It's TikTokable,
Yeah.
which speaks to your point. You're over here,
Yeah, trends and timing. Yeah.
Yes. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Number one, for a first-time user, it has market demand.
Yeah.
But the thing in Botswana is that we have a very low population. For you to make a lot of money, sometimes you need to have repeat business, especially if you're charging a minimal amount of money. If you're charging, let's say, $30 per picture,
Yeah.
you need repeat customers.
Yes.
So I feel like this type of thing, initially, it's going to get traction. As time passes, it's going to go down unless you have a way to scale it.
Yeah.
So that's my thing with market demand. I feel like it's very minimal unless you have a strategy of how you're going to scale it.
So it goes back to, is it scalable?
I think it's scalable. I think it's scalable.
In what sense?
I think the other time we had a chat of Cam, and you told me that if this person has an idea of probably taking this Cam to like the party
Oh,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that.
I think the scalability part would be if that person now decides that they're going to run with it and they move it around. They could be a corporate event, they take it there. They could have they could twist it around, do minor twitches to the setup. If there's a kiddies party, they can still take it there, right? With the different charges, of course.
Yes.
But circulated around, because also to eliminate the fixed cost of it being in the mall,
Yes,
right? In the
yes,
mall
yes.
or whatever space that they're going for.
Being a done invest, they're eroding your fixed cost basically.
Yes.
So scalability can scale, but I feel like, and as much as you can take it to parties, how many people do you know that had a party this last weekend or this past week?
I think every weekend there's a party.
I'm talking about yourself, the people that you know that had a party last weekend. Let's say you had that photo booth thing going on. How many people do you know that had a party last weekend?
Okay, none.
Exactly my point. So for you to make money in a month, I guess what's
But then again, the advertisement has to be really rigorous, like robust, really.
yeah, true. If you're gonna pay it with good marketing, then maybe you might. But like I'm saying, if it's 17K, and then also I think this speaks to another point that if you have 17K, I'm yet to see this happen with the dad of the CEO and then I'll be validated.
Yeah.
If you have like a lump sum of money, you don't invest that entire money in one business idea. Because like I'm saying, if you're gonna test the market, if the market doesn't like your product, you need to be able to go back and make some incremental changes to your product and say, oh, maybe people would like it if I did this. Handsome market now, oh, people on TikTok actually prefer like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I was and then you're able to make incremental changes to your initial idea. So when you have a 17K, at least 50% should go towards the idea, the main thing, and then the other 50% is for incremental changes.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're gonna get a cam, then it should be less than half of 17K.
Yeah.
Or the setup you're gonna over 17K because you might need certain things, have business in it. But then also moving on to, there was another one, yeah, financial feasibility.
Yeah,
Or I
financially.
guess this speaks to financial feasibility.
Yeah.
And then what else was there under the criteria?
I think personal fit.
Personal fit, I think it'll be ideal for someone that's already into photo taking and everything like that. It should be out of passion.
Yeah.
Because it might not pick up at the rate that you thought it was going to pick up at.
Yeah.
Especially after people use it for the first time. It's like the chilling place that people buy Explorer for the first time, another new one
And
comes
then
in.
when
We're out.
when a new thing spot pops up, they move to that spot.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
So I feel like it works, but it doesn't really work. If you're trying to go for sustainability, sustenance of a project or a business, it's not gonna fly unless you're doing it out of passion. Whatever money you make, it's okay. But if you're trying to earn a living of some sort,
With
no.
your last 17K.
With your last 17K.
Emphasis on you only have 17K
Yes.
in your savings account.
Yes, it's not gonna fly.
Okay. Right. Moving on. There was another one about try buy a Honda Fit, hire somebody to do a cab thing with it, and 200 pula daily. You won't go wrong with it. Yeah. You buy a Honda Fit. You have somebody run it as a cab for you, and then they pay you 200 pula per day.
Okay, I think that one, before you even skip to market feasibility, I think we should go to financial feasibility.
Yeah.
What about the 17K? How are you getting a car at 17K?
Okay. I think this one is not. I think it's not really based on the 17K. We assume that. Let's assume in this case, we're saying you have a lump sum of money.
It's not 17K
it's not
anymore.
70. Let's say it's enough to get like a decently used Honda Fit, right? Because with the 17K, obviously that car will be beat up. You won't be able to. You'll have to service it more often, and oftentimes it'll have problems, major problems. Next thing, gearbox, engine, tire. There's always going to be a problem with it, right? Yeah, I think for this one, let's assume you have more than 17K. You have enough to get a fairly used vehicle, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I think in this criteria actually, I think the first one that I actually consider myself is financial feasibility.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna use my money to buy a Honda Fit to get into this taxi business, if I'm gonna start that and a Honda Fit is 40K, then I should have 60K.
Okay.
Right. With a car, maybe we can't apply the same analogy and say you should have 80.
Yeah.
Because a car is a car. It can't have in a hand and then someone's a if something's a start, you're losing money for the day or even for the week up until that car is fixed.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the first you should consider. Do I have more than this 40K wakolo in? Because no money shall be made. You should have money for maintenance of this car, at least like a 20K chilling somewhere. Not chilling, but you get what I mean.
Yes.
Your backup. So that's number one. And then the market, I feel like it's very saturated with this kind of business. Right? There's a lot of you go in drive, malatinga ibilo khona usana moyang go tsamaya 25 pula from this place to that place.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much money you'd be intending to make from that.
No, but the thing now, the person is saying you are transferring that the whole business you are transferring it to somebody else, right? The whole idea, the admin of buying fuel, the running around, you're transferring it to somebody else now.
Oh, it's
However
okay.
they make money, it's that thing. Where not, you just need your
Oh,
200 pula per day.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
give
fine.
it to somebody to get 200 pula per day. It's like a passive. We're trying to in this case, I think it's a situation where they're trying to cultivate passive income.
Okay, so I get it now. So in terms of market demand, this is how I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah.
This is how I'm gonna break it down and how I view it. Even Gaborone, there's 20 pedestrians, right? People that use InDrive, right? It doesn't matter how many cars get into this industry.
Yeah.
Ra split about 20 ban,
Yeah.
right? So if you already had a taxi, I'm gonna be eating from your market share.
Yeah.
Right? Because motho ene ga batla InDrive wa tsena hela ba re ke batla koloi, if you're the first one to say ke a batla go tsamaya wena. So re tla be re kgaogana batho ba le 20 by more taxes now.
Yes.
You know, so bringing in your car does not stimulate demand for InDrive.
Yeah.
You're gonna be eating in the already market share. You're just eating your piece of the pie, reducing someone else's margins.
Yeah, let
So
me walk you through something here. Right. So the idea behind this again is so that you, as the owner of the car, you don't have to go through it, right? So that transferring that problem, that market share issue to the person who's using the vehicle. That's saying, here's the car, give me 200 pula per day. Even if you don't end drive, but I think in that circle, we're saying you can end drive, you can cab, you do whatever you want. Just give me 200 pula per day. I
okay.
want it's just a solid fixed income per day, right? So the market share will affect the person who now got the car, the person who's paying you, not you as the owner, right?
I understand what she's
Yes,
saying,
yes.
but that does not change the fact that there are 20 people. The thing is, we have not been in this industry before,
Yeah.
but I don't think it'll always be consistent that this person is going to make that amount of money you want of them every other day.
Okay.
There are going to be times where you're going to run at losses and there's nothing this person can do. Romas Masalam was,
Yeah.
how about 20 by 20?
Okay.
If the 20 taxis maybe ke 1111 if go tla batho ba le 24 someone wa go re cut ga go ga ke a tshwana yeah ka malatsi a mangwe is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I guess your point where you've shifted the risk but it
To the
does not
you
really
shifted the
eliminate
risk to
it
somebody, yes.
totally.
Yeah.
A person is a person. I want to there was a time I worked at an accounting firm.
Yeah.
Because accounting firm works with billing.
Yeah.
So that time I was a bit more experienced than I was kind of like anymore.
Yeah.
But the owner of this business was expecting me to, let's say, cover my salary and then also make a profit.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this client summer 4K. After how long do I need to be covering my salary?
Okay.
Yes, you've shifted that risk to me, but
Yeah.
you know, you need clients that I pay more money so I can cover my salary maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Right. So that is my issue with this whole thing. So I'm trying to compare the two things. It doesn't change a thing.
But is it not equivalent to like employment, right? So employment, let's say you work in a company. The company is supposed to pay you 1,000 pula per month. Whatever happens to the company, they're not selling products. They selling products. I was working in a restaurant. Whether they paid, whether there was customers or there were no customers, because at that time it wasn't like a commission base. It was strictly salary. So whether I didn't serve enough to make my salary or not, I'm getting my salary.
But employers have more liability towards the public compared to someone who's just an employee. So that sector is highly governed. But I could text me if I tell you there was no one, that's just that one that.
Okay.
Company
fair
bile
enough.
kana go tsa overdraft to do what it
We
wants
do
to
whatever
do.
whatever it takes. Yes.
I believe even in companies, sometimes it gets worse. Ke utlwa go na le batho ba e le gore ba kgona go amogela ka bo di-5, especially in the tendering businesses.
Yeah.
Ka bo di-5, ka bo di-10. So these things happen. Na gona masala mo sa iragalang in business. So demand, I feel like whether you get a new taxi, it's not going to increase the number of pedestrians.
Okay. So
So-
how would you rate it in terms of demand, out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd give it a 5. I feel like it can give you sustenance in the short term.
Yeah.
Because either way, how it's a business in there's no such thing as brand.
Yes.
Nkareng,
Yeah. There's no.
you know,
yeah.
there's no brand key and brand equity. There's no
Yeah.
such a thing. How it's an hella, you're already at par with someone that's been there for a long time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Probably they know the shorter routes, but hella in terms of your visibility towards the customers, you guys are at par. Hella ga o reka o tsenya Honda Fit ya go la tshwana le mo in drive. You get what I
Oh
mean?
no, but the thing is, the ones who are already established. There's a thing where people are already established
Yes,
the
it.
industry. Yeah, because one, you already have those that you're already transporting to work, school, da 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 da. Right. Two, you'd have your regulars. You know that this girl goes out every weekend and she's going to call me. This boy goes to his girlfriend's house and he's going to call me.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
makes sense. Makes
So you
sense.
have that number, and they don't even have to in drive now. They just have to call Tabo. Yo, Tabo, how are you? Where are you? I need you to get me there.
But you know what my problem is with that one? I used to have someone like that up until that in drive is cheaper than them. So it's a rare case because motho ga nne go bapalwa yena o tla tswa kgakala kwa go charge 70 pula and your in drive is like 40 bucks 30 bucks.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get your points. Yeah, Banaba school and everything. But otherwise, hell, I've always realized that the person you're loyal to
Yeah.
is usually charging more than in drive
Yes.
most of the times.
Okay. Right. So in terms of uniqueness, how do you rate it?
In terms of uniqueness, I'll give it a 0.
What? That's
That's a
extreme.
low hanging fruit. Like, yeah, what I
Okay.
got in drive.
Scalability.
In terms of scalability, it's scalable, yes, but I feel like where the industry is headed, I don't think you can have multiple taxes. There's no substance to it. I don't think there's much you're doing there when you're scaling. You're just buying more, but also the number of pedestrians are still not increasing.
No, but I think scalability it works.
How so?
I know a gentleman who managed to actually scale with that I don't know if I should call it cab company. Yes. But with that taxi business or company. Yeah.
And how did they do that?
I'm not sure how they did that, but with time they managed to go from one car to two, three. I think right now probably close to 10 now.
Were the cars that they were on in drive or they're just moving around picking up kids and everything?
Yes, they're doing everything. Some in drive, I think some sort of similar thing where people are, you have thingy, the drivers have sort of a minimum amount they're supposed to give you every day, right? So, but they have multiple customers and everything.
All right. So I think I'll agree with you. It's scalable.
Yeah.
But also for someone that's not yet in that industry,
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a bit more saturated. And I think let's let the people that are already doing it continue to do it.
Yeah.
But then also you're right. There can be one or two people that are going to be successful in that thing, but not a lot of people will be that at it. Because also in the industry, must I pay you everything. There's going to be that one person that's successful at it.
Yeah.
But getting into it is not going to guarantee you the same success as that person.
Okay.
Right. So it's not that kind of industry I would advise someone to get into. It's scalable. Ga e le gore o ihile tota, o e bontshitse mo ditorong, go for it.
No.
But hella scientifically, hella business wise, it's
Yeah.
not something you should go into. It's a
Okay.
low hanging fruit, but I feel like it's very risky as well. And then also, koloi ya go kgona go senyega and things like that. Because if it's not my car,
Yes,
I don't
yeah,
care.
yes. Because if it's not your car, then you're the one
Exactly.
who the owner does maintenance, then they have to pay a lot more.
Exactly.
So financial viability, feasibility, trends, and personal fit. How do you rate?
Right, personal fit, I don't think this has anything to do with personal fit. It's a
Yeah.
low hanging fruit for someone that can afford a tiny low end car.
Yeah.
And then also personal fit, I don't think this kind of business requires any kind of personal fit.
Yeah.
Let trends, not a trends and
Trends and
okay,
yeah.
trends. This is not anything TikTokable, honestly. You know.
Okay, and then resources. I think if you have the funds, you can get into it.
Yes, and then also, like I'm saying, never have the exact funds for the major investment of the business you're undertaking. Always have a surplus to be able to make incremental changes or to be able to finance repairs and maintenance. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. The next one. The next one was open a butchery or rent a bar. Open a butchery or rent a bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with market demand. So market demand, by the way, there's a mental model that I'm going to refer to because I see a similarity between this butchery thing and this one, Yadikoloi.
Yeah.
So basically, I think I've spoken about this off cam. I always refer back to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs when I'm trying to
Yeah.
have some sort of business idea generating thing. So I'm there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the lowest level, what people need going upwards, right? The reason why I refer to what people need at the basic level up until maybe the higher level where they now have money
Yeah.
is because the essence of business, at the core of business, whatever thing that you're introducing to the market should solve someone's problem. My hard-earned money, I'm gonna spend it on something that benefits me.
Yes.
Right. You have to like see, okay, people need this. A person is willing to spend on this.
Yeah.
So I have like narrowed it down to 3 levels, yeah, in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the very first level, there's gonna be the basic needs. Commodities. Get commodity I get if it's basic needs. Like your shelter, your water, your food. Those are the basic things you need for
Commodity
survival.
product, the hell, basically continue. Yes.
Okay, for commodities then it's hard.
Yes.
So it's like the basic needs. That's the
Yeah.
first level.
Yeah.
Right? And then the second level is convenience. Like things say, you can walk to the mall, but a car can transport you to the mall. So it's convenience. It's not a need. You will survive if you walk to work. You won't die.
Okay.
Right? And then Koko Dimukana now is like luxurious products. Right? You don't need to have a Range Rover. You're
Yes.
just buying it for flex. You are there now. Your needs have been met at this level. Quite no convenience, and now it's flexing. Right? So yeah, now moving on to like your that criteria, ya go bona ya dijo.
Yeah.
So now, when you move up this hierarchy, your margins can increase. But at this lower level, you can only have a minimal margin. Good basic needing. There's a lot of substitute products here, right? So, and this model will channel the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, in Hakelebele business idea, you can't just charge a ridiculous amount of margins there
For
meats.
We're saying a bar or a butchery.
Okay, so for a butchery, so looking at a butchery,
Yeah.
you can't charge like a ridiculous amount of margin there. You have to comply with the margins that are already there.
What it is like, I think there's like a set range for you know what, this is the range for chicken, this is the
Exactly.
range for beef.
So imagine how many substitutes products are playing in that industry. The butchery guy, how many options do people have? Right?
Yeah.
So le price you're gonna charge based on what you're finding there.
Yeah.
Right? Or rent is we rang. So I feel like in terms of market demand is very limited unless you're trying to just get your piece of the pie and stimulate demand or something to make it entertaining for people, but the margins are very low there. So I feel like market demand, it will be there because it's food, people need it, but the margins are always going to be low. You'll make sales for sure because it's a basic need, people need food.
Okay, so we're saying that in terms of demand, how do you rate it? Market demand.
I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a moderate, looking at the fact that people need food,
Yeah.
but they'll always go for the cheapest price. It's a basic need.
Okay.
People are not going to pay a high amount of money for namesa bujang.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. Yes, that's
so for a
right.
butchery, so a bar is a different, it plays in a different industry totally.
Yes.
But ke feel gore le gone go gape kan go rentse work 17K.
Yes, well, you.
I know. 17K you're not going to open a bar.
Okay.
It failed. Go financial feasibility.
Oh yeah. Okay.
that one
Financial
can't.
feasibility. No,
You can't open a bar with a 17K.
It'll be a little bit less. I think for that the budget has to be a little bit bigger.
Exactly. Look, we share tota. I think what the way with the garage or something, and I'm like paying regular fridge. I don't know.
Unless it's like in a very remote area where the rental is less than, I don't know, less than 5,000.
Yeah, maybe that.
And then how do you pay your employees?
Which is so difficult. That's like there's a lot of substitute products. That's how bad it is.
Okay. So my thing is with 17K, if it's exactly 17K, then it won't be so much financial wise, you don't have the resources for it.
You don't have the resources for it. You have to feel like financial feasibility. Remember that thing that I
If
told
it's
you
your
about?
last 17K.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need double. How about like butchery? You need to know how I can talk about chesanyama. Kere kere tuleng na chesanyama. How to spend the lot to help on hoyana? There is no room for incremental changes. So that's my thing.
Okay. So market demand, you say moderate. Scalability.
Scalability, it's scalable in terms of so yeah no how it's scalability now. You can do like Timon. You need to understand your competitive edge over other people. There's Timon and there's Cheers as well.
Yeah.
So what they've done is that they've stimulated they've carved like a little niche for themselves. They have like their people.
So
They
I
know
think
they will be
it
there.
now trickles down to the criteria of uniqueness.
Yes. In
Yes.
terms of uniqueness, are you able to enhance your uniqueness? Did you think that fine? Say, I have a generic business idea that anyone can do that's playing at the very bottom of the food chain. It's a basic need. But then how do I enhance it to maybe now go to the third level? Yeah, luxurious things. People don't really need this, but they're for vibes. It's a thing. I have the money, I want to buy meat, basis doing 100 pool or whatever.
Okay.
It has to be very enticing, actually.
Okay, so we're saying that uniqueness was it unique?
It's not unique. You need to work on the uniqueness.
Oh, it needs extra work to be done.
It needs work to be done because the idea you're in a couple, you know, it's not unique.
So on a scale out of 10,
Under uniqueness, it's not unique. I'll give it a 0. Unless you're telling me the uniqueness of the idea.
okay, okay, unless there's like more description into like how do you want to go about the bar or the butchery. I get it.
Yes.
So scalability, it's scalable.
It's scalable. But it's scalable if you can understand your
uniqueness.
uniqueness, your
Okay.
competitive edge. Yes.
Now, on a scale out of 10, scalability,
I'll give it a 0. If you can't pass your uniqueness, you'll not be able to scale.
is
Well,
it
for Salah, like a butcher said,
financial viability? It is viable.
it is initially, I feel like with 17K, it's not.
No, viable and feasible. Viable,
viable
like is
is-
it going to make money? Is it going to, can it sustain itself?
Let me think. If you're able to push the numbers, because if you're making small margins, then you need to be able to push the margins.
Yeah.
So if you feel like high long price people are just gonna go for the closest shop. Shop right, they're gonna shop because the prices are almost comparable.
So your basically your the viability of the business idea will be dependent on the market demand.
On the market demand, which is not too high as well.
Yeah.
So I think I would not give it much. I would give it a 4.
4.
Yes.
And then resources, obviously, it's a little bit low.
It's a bit low. You don't have enough money.
And then trends and timing,
no,
personal
no,
fit. Personal fit.
Personal fit, I feel like I've actually seen people that have a personal fit with this kind of industry actually.
Yeah.
And they do it so passionately.
Yeah.
Like our guy here, he does this meat thing so well and he's passionate about it.
yeah.
I feel like if you're that passionate, you're able to go far because you are doing something out of passion.
Yeah.
So you're likely to be able to enhance the thing and make it better so that it attracts more people.
Okay. So the last segment we're done with the business ideas. I wish we could have more time to go through them, but let's go to the last part. It talks about the business landscape in Botswana, right? So according to an article by Daily News, right? There are about let me read the perfect stats. There were about, between 2019 and 2023, there were about 7,960 businesses that were funded by CEDA. And out of those, 1,140 failed, right? So out of the 7,000, about 1,000 failed, which is about 14% of the whole thing. So what do you think? What do you think of the stats? Do you think it shows improvement? Do you think it shows that no, as much as the failure rate is low, it means we're going somewhere,
Yes.
right? Does it okay? But it means we're progressing, right? And now, what do you think can be done to ensure better outcomes? Like, let's say, what can we do to reduce the failure percentage to let's say 5%?
Okay. So I'm going to start with the stats. If they're reliable, I feel like in terms of success, I feel like that's not such a bad ratio. It's not a bad ratio.
Yeah.
But then also, 1,100 businesses can fail, but they're failing big. So 5.9 or that's 6,000, the larger portion, yeah, but you cook. I wish we had monetary figures attached to this ratio.
Yes.
You know, because it gives different. I get
Yeah.
But before we even get to what can be improved, I feel like in terms of the business that is
Yeah.
when you start a business, what's like 17K guy. First of all, look at the vision. Where do you see this business going?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think I actually never thought of that.
Hala
Yeah.
how similar kosa work you wanna give it a guy.
Yeah.
Hala hake sana mu industry and 10 years time you wanna get a guy. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So now even in business you have to apply the same theory. whatever business that you're going to get into, understand the vision that you have for this business. What is next after this? What is next after this? Yes, I've bought this butchery. What's next? Think about the long-term vision. And then after thinking about the long-term vision, think about a strategy of how to get there, right? After that strategy, now you have to break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. Strategy is kgona go nna setona-tona hela, but you have to do it in such a way e leng gore tomorrow, what am I doing towards that same vision, right? So break down that vision into financial strategy, the marketing strategy, and then also have, there's another one that I think I'm missing, the operational strategy.
Yeah.
In terms of, in as much as there's like these three broad strategies, or since operation strategy, on a day-to-day basis, how are you running this thing? Wa bona se ka re ke ipona ke na le 1 million, but ga o itse gore ka moso o e run towards that 1 million. O tsoga bosigo gore ke re ipona re popile or something. Ga te go bitsa
Yeah, it's all papa one day.
ke tso go popa one day.
But one day you one day. Yeah.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that have a vision and then have strategies, whatever business that you undertake. So in terms of the business failures, Tasira, what I think can be done, Kohore, number one, so I'm going to break it down into the points that I've realized that this is maybe why it might fail. Number one, but the business plan.
Yeah.
There's a vision, there's a strategy, do break it down, but motel that thing.
They just bought the product.
They just kore ba tsene hela mo teng, they're thinking about gore hanga ipona ke tshwere this whatever amount of money, that's it. Kore wa akanyetsa haela ga akanyetsa ko pele the entire thing. But that document had everything in it. So that's number one. People ga ba bale se e leng gore ba se kwadile because ba se kwaletse ke mong.
Yeah.
Wa bona?
So you think people should now be more active into drafting the business proposals?
Yes.
Kore,
But people are not gonna do that.
even if you have like sort of an expert who does it, be there, be active, give them what you think would work for your
Yes.
company, or they should be there sharing the information with you, telling you, okay, I think this is what will work. If you have a strategy, if the person is scripting down the strategy, now you should think, okay, ask them, like have a conversation, be very active into the whole preparing of the proposal.
Yes, be
That's what
very
she said.
active. And then on the other end, but the person that wants the money, that's just trying to comply to get the money.
Yeah.
What Sira can do is that maybe the interview processes should be more,
Rigorous.
yes, into trying to understand right? And then number two, I believe that, I don't know why I read this or why I heard it, is that a mind, there's never a time where there's like a radical change in the way you think.
Yeah.
Right? You're only gonna think to the extent they so I feel like a lot of ideas are not creative. It's nothing out of the blue. It's always the same things that we know. It's into agriculture. It's into common. It's the multi-resi,
Car wash.
the car washi, very common things.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe they should have forums or workshops saying people can be exposed to maybe people from other countries that have gotten funding and invested it into successful projects.
I think it goes back now to my last question, right? One, how important is mentorship into the whole thing, right, for young entrepreneurs? And do you think there's enough mentors available in Botswana?
Okay.
Or even if it's not mentors per se, like those sort of events or forums that really cultivate entrepreneurship. As much as the one city, as much as you have career fairs, right? Do we have enough that really push towards entrepreneurs, that entrepreneurs actually attend and are very active in them? Do you think that they're enough?
All right. So to wrap up, like you're saying,
Have you attended one? Last. Yeah. Continue.
okay, number one, I don't believe in mentorship. I don't believe in being fixated in one person and hoping they'll change your life forever.
Yeah.
I believe in you amassing knowledge across different people in different forums. Whether you're going to be reading, are you going to be watching podcasts, whatever thing that you want to do as an individual from individual side.
Okay,
And then
let me interrupt you for a bit. You know that when you get a lot of information from different sources, oftentimes you can get confused on how to go about it, right? There was a time when I was learning Forex, I'd read multiple things, right? And I wouldn't know how to apply it because it's a lot. I'm overwhelmed with the information. It's different sources. I read a book, some guy says, okay, look at the candlesticks. The other guy says, oh no, look at the indicators. So with a lot of information can be confusing. So how do you consolidate it into one thing?
Not everyone will be a business owner. You have to be smart to be a business owner and be able to sift through information, understand what is important.
No, that's not the response that I want.
You're
How about
supposed to
you?
be able to pick what is important and what is not. That's actually a skill. We'll talk about it on a different day.
Okay,
It's the
yeah,
same as data analytics. You need
yeah,
to be able to get important information
yeah,
out of like information
yeah,
right? So what I'm gonna say, what Sira can do is that it should introduce people or programs or forums say that are very entertaining for people to attend. Seminars are usually very boring, speech.
yeah.
It should be a knowledge exchange session. It's very interactive and it's entertaining for young people,
Yeah.
right? Because that's the only way people can have a mindset change and do things better and have more creative ideas. You need to be able to tap into the mind of other people who have done it before.
Yeah.
Tse e leng gore ga o di bone le ha hela. It goes in closing. It goes back to kgang ya kgante le ke gore I saw my friend who was ahead of me getting a car. I was like, I can do this too.
Yeah.
You need someone to make you realize you can do something different too.
Yeah.
So that's what Sida should do. Introduce the foramonyana tse e leng gore people can learn from each other that are entertaining and bring people outside of the country or
Yeah.
something. But we'll
So
talk
you,
more on it next time.
hey, you think the current seminars are not working because they're more fixated towards
Speeches,
speeches? Let's say
boring stuff.
a well established entrepreneur stands for 30 minutes in front of you, or let's say no 5 minutes, talks about his journey, not even his journey, or where something just a very brief, and you don't have all the inside information about how you went about it, and then after that you're supposed to apply his thing.
Exactly. And now my problem with that type of forum, ko gore someone is getting paid and they're just there to deliver a service.
Yeah.
Ibile podcasting about the no one is getting paid. They're doing it out of their hearts.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So I believe that things should be done differently.
Okay. All right. No, I think we wrapped up okay. I wish we had a little bit more time to actually dive deep into those sort of seminars or forums that we'd want to run to cultivate entrepreneurship within a country. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye. We'll talk more next time. We didn't have enough time. Bye, guys.
All right.